social media. Who is excited about this? I know it's a huge hot topic, and so we're going to talk about what to post, messaging, all those kind of things. So get ready. Slash blitzing. No. Well, we'll just bring it. Okay, so I have Cassie Miro with me, and she's a double diamond. I'm going to let her have the mic, share 30 seconds like story, and then we'll talk about what to post.
So, my name is Cassie Miro. I actually live in Houston, Texas. I'm originally from Dallas, Fort Worth, but I have lived here probably for about 3 years now. I am a double diamond leader. I've been in the business for a little over a year. I joined March of last year. I actually enrolled under Erin. I met her on Instagram of all places, and she happens to live like 5 miles from me, which is even crazier, that I hadn't known her before this. And so I actually signed up as a customer when I first started, and thought about it for like 3 days, and then messaged her and was like, I want to do this. And I had never considered network marketing, so that's even crazier. But so a tip for posting, right?
Like what types of posts?
Okay, so the biggest tip that I would give is always be consistent, which is something you guys hear so much. But I remember when I first started and I asked Erin, I was like, okay, I've never done network marketing. What do I do? Like, you have to tell me what I need to do. And so one of the things that she told me was, you need to be posting 3 to 5 times a day. And I was like, okay, I can do that. So I had it in my head from the day that I started that that was something I had to do every day to run this business, was that I could not miss one post one day. So I didn't know what to post about or what I was going to post about, but I knew that I had to post. So I've actually worked my entire business through social media. I would say probably 95% of my team have been people that I've met on social media that I've never met in person before, which is so crazy. So about posting, I would say you always need to be sharing your adventure, things that you're out doing. I mean, there's days where because I actually do this full time now. So if we ever go out to dinner or we go out with friends, I take 50 pictures while I'm out. So that way I have pictures to post throughout the week. So I'll post one picture of what I'm out doing, like if I'm at dinner, or a picture of me with my friends. And then I have 49 other pictures to post throughout the next week, just talking about friendships or the fun or the freedom of this business. So that would be one of my #1 tips, I think.
Cool. Okay, we're good. So the big things about what to post are going to be the F's. Fun, freedom, friendships, family, food, fitness, fashion, anything related to that people love. Make sure that when you're posting your pictures that they're pretty crisp and clear. One of my favorite apps if you're on the iPhone is PicTapGo. It's $1.99, but it is so worth it. Use the filter Crispity and it will seriously change your business. So PicTapGo is my go-to. But make sure that your pictures pop and they're bright and things like that. We're going to talk a little bit more. So Lindsay, if you'll get on and share a little bit about your story, and let's talk about post templates. So we can kind of cover that.
I'm Lindsay. Let me preface this by saying I work my business totally on social media because I hate talking to people, so I'm very uncomfortable right now. I'm shaking. Anyway, so my story, Alyssa Loins is my enroller and my sponsor, and I watched her for 3 years. I was actually a loyal. I did it for the 3 months, and then I'd go back and order rapid. I love the products. I never considered doing it because I'm so painfully shy and introverted, like I'm going to have to sleep for 2 days after doing this and things. So yeah, I never even considered network marketing to be an option for me. I loved my job as a graphic designer. It just didn't pay, it paid my bills, but that's it. And if anything unexpected came up, it was awful. So I needed something to just help me live a little. So all my friends are engineers and bank, so it's really hard to not bank. So anyway, prayed for something, and then one day Alyssa messaged me about had I ever considered it, and I said no, I haven't. Let me pray about it. So I prayed about it for a week, and then without a shadow of a doubt, I knew I had to do it. 5 months later went diamond, 10 months later quit my job as a double, and it's all I do now. So it's been a whirlwind. Anyway, social media. No one knows going into this what exactly to do. We think when you're in it for a while, you're like, well, just post. Okay, well, what do you post? I looked at the people who are successful, not just anybody, the people that were actually making money doing it on social media. And I took what they did and I kind of reworded it because I have a very specific voice. I'm not super bubbly. I'm not going to act super bubbly because my network will know that's total crap. It's not me. So I reword it to sound like me. I use my own photos, or I'll switch it up a picture from a different post and kind of mix and match. So it's okay to copy, just be you when you do it.
So there's a lot of great templates out there, and I know Facebook has really made it easy for us where we can just hold down and copy, but stop doing that. You have to be yourself in these posts. People can catch on to that. So even if you use these as a guide, that's why I love to call them templates for your posts. Use it as a guide to make it your own. When I got started, I literally had no idea when I messaged people. It was awful, but you just figure it out as you go. So use the templates and follow the people that are successful at it, but use it and make it your own. It doesn't look good if we're all just copying and posting the exact same thing with the same picture. Tweak it to make it your own. Share your product testimony. Share your family's adventure, and that's how you are going to grow your business and your team. So I'll turn it over to Kirsten. So if you can tell us a little bit about, and we're going to talk, I don't even like to say cold messaging, so we're going to call it warm messaging.
A little bit about me. I'm Kirsten Garcia, and I am mostly known for being Ashley Ald's very first hater on social media. So,
she told me that before we got on this.
Yeah, so I have to throw that out there because it's a really important part of my story, and I like to show everybody that you can turn the haters and the skeptics into triple diamonds, and it's all about not letting them affect what you're doing. You have to just keep doing it. So posting is really, really important. I remember watching Ashley post, and it got to the point where I was like, at the time, I was part of a makeup company, and so I was trying network marketing, and I was busting my butt, and I thought I was doing pretty well. And all of a sudden, Ashley starts posting about this crazy rap thing, and literally my entire town is all over this, and everybody's joining, and she got a $10,000 bonus in the first month, and I'm over here, my highest check that I ever got with the makeup company was $700, and I thought that was phenomenal. I'm like making $700 selling makeup. And I kept watching her, and it was 9 months later. I think I was one of the first people that y'all asked or talked to. So they didn't really know how to respond to me because I was so like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. No, don't even ask me. I'm not pairing that with my makeup. Sorry, no, move on to something else. So I watched, and her posting, if it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't have been so interested. And I watched her for 9 whole months before I finally joined, and I joined under somebody totally random on her team. I just said, you know what, the next person that I see that posts about this crazy rap thing, I'm totally sending a message and joining. And I did. And here I am today. It was I went Ruby in 30 days, 90 days, I was diamond. 5 months into the business, I went double diamond, wasn't able to quit my job, and now I'm triple diamond, and I'm making almost double what my husband and I were bringing home together. Cold messaging is horrible. I think that people get really confused whenever we say cold messaging, because there's a difference between a cold message. A cold message is basically something that you're sending a message to someone that you have absolutely no relationship with. You've never talked to them, they've never liked or commented on a post. So don't do that. You need to at least have them, if it's on Instagram, it doesn't have to be super complicated. Just start liking and commenting on their posts, and they will start doing the same back to you. And you can just write them on a list, write their name down and say, okay, I've liked and commented on their post, and we have some kind of rapport going. It doesn't have to be 6 months down the road. If you feel comfortable messaging them, then message them, but don't send out a spammy message to somebody that you've never even had any contact with, especially if they're not even on your friends list. It's just terrible.
So Kirsten, with being said with the messages, what would be like an example message that you would send to somebody? And I'm gonna add on to kind of like building your market, or with building that, but what would be an example message? Because I think a lot of people think that there's some magic behind it, and so I want you to share something that you would just send to somebody.
Okay, I do try to make things out. I think this business is very personal, and you have to get personal with people. So I would say something like, "Hey, girl, I'm not sure if you've seen any of my posts, but I am part of a health and wellness company, and I really have been watching your profile and the way that you interact with your followers, and I think that you would be amazing at this business. Have you ever thought about making an extra income from home?"
That was that simple.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing special that goes into the messages. What I like to say is that belly to belly, that face-to-face contact, that relationship is going to be built instantly. Social media takes a lot longer. So you're going to have to build your relationship with people, interact with them beforehand. Just to let you know, cold messaging / spamming is against compliance, so don't do that. Make sure that you build that relationship with people. You start engaging, you're liking and commenting, just like she said. And it could be something as simple as, "Hey girl, I just think you would be so amazing at this. Have you thought about it?" End it with a question so that they have to come back to you. But make sure that you're taking that time to do that and build that relationship with people. So, Cassie, what would be one tip that you would share with a new distributor or somebody that's been in the business that maybe they feel like they're struggling? Social media, they feel like they're just posting and they're not really getting any feedback. So what would be something that you would go with that?
Okay, so I love that question only because I did that to you when I first started. I remember there were 3 things that Erin told me that I should do when I first got started. And I've done all 3 of those things since I started, and I have not missed one day of doing that. And all it is posting 3 to 5 times a day. I try to follow the 3 for 3 rule. If you guys don't know what that is, it's posting like 3 before and afters, or I don't really post 3 before and afters, but like product posts. So like a picture like of you using a product or holding a product, or a personal testimony, or a before and after picture. And I think sometimes people get so scared of using before and after pictures because we're like afraid that people are gonna like block us or like be annoyed. You can't be afraid to post before and after pictures, because I reached out to her from seeing the before and after picture to sign up as a loyal and signed up as a distributor 3 days later and had no idea I would be sitting here talking to you guys. So, so 3 before and after pictures, or product posts, or person testimonies, and then 3 lifestyle posts. And when I say lifestyle posts, I don't mean it has to be about the business. You need to post about regular things that you do day in and day out. It can be business related, but it doesn't have to be. I talk about a lot, like what the business has done for me. So where I've been, where I'm at, and where I'm going. I always like to tell a story in my posts, and I've learned that through trainings and events and stuff like that from other leaders. But what was the question? I got off topic. Yes, okay, so I remember, posting 3 to 5 times a day and adding people to my network every day, which is so important, because if you're not adding people to your network, you're posting to the same people every single day, and if those people aren't interested, you're never gonna reach out to new people. And so that's something else I did. I added like 10 people. I worked a lot on Facebook when I first started. Now I do Instagram and Facebook, but I mostly built my business through Facebook. So I added like 10 people every day. And then I did reach out to people after I was building a relationship with them. So I would interact with them on Facebook and like their pictures of them with their kids, or going on vacation, or they had a baby, or whatever, some kind of event in their life. Or even if it's just a picture of them sitting at home drinking a glass of wine, watching a movie, I'm like, girl, we'd be best friends, because I love doing that. So like interacting and creating those relationships is so important, especially if you're going to interact with them and send them messages about, because you can't tell somebody that they have an awesome personality if you don't know them. So, but I remember doing these things every single day when I first started, and I probably did it consistently for like 2 weeks, and I thought it had been like 4 days. So I remember messaging Erin, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm doing everything that you told me to do, and it's not working. And she was like, you're doing everything the way you need to be doing it. You have to be consistent. And that word consistency, you will hear repetitively throughout this entire business, because it is so true. The example I like to give a lot of new distributors, especially new people on the team, where they tell me things like that when they're brand new and they expect, as soon as they post one time, I just joined this business, I'm so excited, they expect all these people to flock to them and be like, oh girl, what are you selling? Like, I'm so interested. People aren't always gonna come to you. You you have to reach out to people. It's the same thing as if you're out in public, people like blitzing. I'm not a blitzer, but I love working social media because that's what I'm good at and that's what I like. But consistency is always my #1 tip with new people or just people who have been in it for a long time, because it's so important. You know, if you see somebody posting on social media and let's say you're a distributor and you post 1 or 2 times a day, and then tomorrow you don't post at all because you're busy, and then the next day you post 5 times. That inconsistency is not going to grab people's attention, whereas somebody who's posting 5 times a day, every single day, sharing their adventures, sharing results, sharing the product, sharing the business, that's who people are going to reach out to because they trust that that person is passionate, excited, and confident about what they're doing, and they want to be a part of it. So I would always say consistency, for sure.
All right, Lindsay, well, quick tip.
Okay, my #1 tip for social media is to share your story. Even if you really don't want to tell people your story. My biggest weakness, I would say, getting started is me being shy and introverted. And when I got over that, I'm not over being shy, I'm still shy, but over being exposed and telling people that, I had so many people come to me and say, I can do this because you can do it, and you're shy and I'm shy. And so I started telling my story that way, and then I'll tell my story from the aspect of I joined right after my car broke down and I needed to get it repaired and I couldn't afford it. So I told that story and someone will come to me like, oh my gosh, that happened to me last month. I need this business. Or I'll come at it from, I love my job, I didn't want to quit, I just needed $300 a month. And someone will come to me and say, oh, I need $300 a month, I don't want to quit my job. I don't want to quit my job, but I want to do this. And everyone's story is so multifaceted that there's more than one way to tell it in a really quick little blurb. I never just do paragraph after paragraph. I do really quick little blurbs about my story as concisely as I can from every different angle, and I'll focus on one angle because your network is all different kinds of people. And I get moms, I get singles, I get people way older than me, I get people coming out of high school, I get all kinds of people coming to me. And then when I ask them, they have already read my story and can relate, that went off what I wanted to say. But, I mean, I get all these different kinds of people because I share my story so many different ways. So that is by far my #1 tip.
I love it. Okay, and Kirsten?
Okay, I kind of have 2 parts. So I think one of the biggest mistakes that I see new distributors make when they first join is very spammy, very corporate-y posts, and it's just not attractive. So, for instance, if you have a corporate picture of a box of greens, and you're like, oh, I'm so excited about this new product that I'm selling, and you can get all 8 servings of fruits and vegetables, blah, blah, blah. That next to a picture of yourself holding your greens, drinking it, I'm so excited, I feel so great, this stuff is changing my life. Which one, you have to think which one is going to draw people in. And my second tip would be to don't be afraid to post. This is one of the very first things that I hear people say when they join. I really want to post, but I'm afraid all my followers and all my friends are going to get aggravated, and they're going to get so annoyed with all these posts. And you guys have to remember that, especially with Facebook, the algorithms and all of the science behind technology and that website, that platform, it's like the percentage of people that are actually seeing your posts is very minimal. It's less than 10%. So you have to post consistently several times a day because not everybody is seeing all of those posts in general. So, and then on Instagram, it's totally different. The feed is very, very fast, and if you have a lot of followers, or if somebody that's following you has a lot of followers, your post is going to get lost in that feed very quickly. So post every single hour, every 2 hours, and you have to keep doing that throughout the life of your business.
I love it. All right, well, that's social media for you. Thank you so much, ladies.